All right. So I continue to have this conversation about the Department of Government Efficiency. Is it viable? Is it something that can be successful? As much as I think this is a great idea, I don't know about its success, and I'm being just genuinely honest. You're talking about a system that is bureaucratic in nature. And can you go into a bureaucratic system and clean up bureaucracy? Sure, there are some things that can be done, and anything they can do to reduce cost, redundancy, waste, bureaucracy is going to be considered a success. But can they be a success on a large scale? It's a great question. And America, it is about the American people. But there is going to be pushback. And if nothing else, I will tell you where I think the largest part of success will be. Let's say they don't do massive reductions in government agencies. What they are going to do, I believe, is they are going to shine a light on it. The American people are not dumb, and the American people deserve efficiency. We just think about what you do by nature. If you go, I do this, maybe you don't, but I do. I worked in the restaurant industry when I was very young. I love the restaurant. I love the service industry. I loved it when I was a kid. I'm not joking when I say I would love to go into it again. I would love to, because I don't need to. If I had to do it every day, I think it would be a problem. But I love it so much. I love meeting people. I love making sure they have a good time. I would love providing good service for people. But I'm also a very big stickler. If I go into a restaurant, and I'm sitting for an extended period of time like they don't know I'm there, I get upset. I expect good service. Does that make me bougie? I don't know that it does. I just think that, we've all got a job to do, and I expect you to do your job. None of us want to wait in line for 2.5 hours or 3 hours at the DMV. We have an expectation of efficiency. You look around and you say, there are 4 people standing back there, and no one has even acknowledged that I'm here. Or I've been sitting and waiting to get in here, and there's 5 people having a conversation behind the counter. Why am I standing in line at the post office and there's only 1 person working? I hear 8 voices in the back. Now, I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know if it's inefficiency, but that's what it feels like. And we all have a demand that we are going to have more efficiency. If they are going to shine the light of day on the money that you and I spend in this story, I hope I have the right one where it's got the costs in it about what's going on and how many people are involved. But you're talking about hundreds of thousands of employees with an average salary of over $100,000 a year. There's no way that you can tell me that there isn't inefficiency. Many of these agencies should be downsized wherever they are. And for whatever does remain, move many of them out to be more accountable to the people. And by the way, if you have many voluntary reductions in force of the workforce in the federal government along the way, great. That's a good side effect for those policies as well. This is Ramaswamy saying it. Our goal is not to be cruel, by the way, to the individual federal employees. Most of them, I do want to say this, are individually good people, and we want to be compassionate and generous in how we handle this transition. But the real issue here, listen to this, the real issue is there's just too many of them. We don't need 4 million, and we shouldn't have 4 million civil servants who aren't elected and can't be removed from their position. That's anti-democratic, and he's not wrong. Will it be the Department of Education? This is another one. Keep your hands off. Why would you keep your hands off? For everybody out there that's an educator, honestly, the Department of Education, has it improved education in America? And the answer is absolutely not. I understand the idea. It was a noble idea at its inception in the 1970s, Jimmy Carter. But would anybody, just be honest with yourself, do you think public education is better now than it was when we were kids, whatever age you are? For me, it was the 1970s. I was in elementary school in the 1970s. And I can promise you, I lack formal education. I've been honest about that. I don't have a college degree. I barely have a high school diploma. I would match my ability, not always my intellect, but my ability to learn with anybody else's. And that's the job of an elementary, a middle school, and a high school education, is to prepare you to learn for the rest of your life. I was prepared to learn in the 1970s. I read at grade level, performed math skills at grade level. I was prepared for the rest of my life to learn. Does anybody say with confidence that the vast majority of our students are prepared to learn for the rest of their lives? And if the answer is no, then why wouldn't we look at massive changes to the Department of Education? Because that was the Department of Education's job. This idea of hands off certain things has gotten us to where we are. The scare tactics, I think, are going to end if we can see some results. But I think if nothing else, when these agencies try to defend themselves, the light will be shown on them. And it will show the inefficiency, redundancy, and waste that we have. And then the American people will make decisions with their elected officials moving forward that try to stand in the way of those agencies being reduced in size and budget.
Thanks for watching the Mike Broomhead Show. Catch up on Amazing Arizonans, a KTAR News podcast, and click the button in the middle to subscribe.